Okay, so maybe a couple hours ago or so, I finished watching Masters of the Universe with my sister. And I'm not gonna lie, I just had a really fun time with it. I remember seeing the trailers for this movie. And it's most of the like there were like these big sweeping shots of Eternia, like of some shots of Skeletor and whatnot. But a lot of it seemed to show, Adam on Earth, and it was making me think that was going to be most of the movie. Is that it would be, oh yeah, you were you were isekai. I guess it's like almost like a reverse isekai, but like you were isekai into Earth, and you got to keep the sword safe. But when he gets it, Skeletor is going to come here, and there's going to be a big battle on Earth, and I just wasn't expecting it to be fun. That even if you're on Earth for a limited time, like the time on Earth is going to be very fun, but it's probably going to be a lot of the movie. You're probably on Earth for maybe 10 minutes in the actual movie, and I would say basically the entirety of that 10 minutes is really fun. This entire movie is very tongue in cheek. It reminds me a lot of the Zombieland Saga movie that I watched but last month, maybe earlier in July, where just almost any time they can make a joke at their own expense, they're going to do it. And like 9 times out of 10, it's really, really funny. Like one thing that tickled me in particular is at the very start of the movie when you're getting all the cool stuff with Eternia and Idris Elba's playing Man at Arms. He gets a really cool action scene, and it ends with Adam getting isekai. He's like, and that's how I ended up here in Oklahoma City. Like I'm like, oh yeah, I live in Oklahoma, so that that particularly just kind of made me laugh. It's like I wasn't expecting an Oklahoma shout out, but hell yeah. And then later on in the movie, like he shows his driver's license and it says Oklahoma on it. It's like I don't even know if I would qualify that as a joke. It's just something that made me in particular pretty happy. There is a scene on Earth where he's in a car and What's Up by Four Non Blondes plays because of course that song had to be here. I don't know if I've ever said it before in any of my videos, but that freaking video of He-Man singing What's Up by Four Non Blondes is genuinely my favorite video on YouTube. I don't know how many times I've seen it. I like it more than Cold Steel the Hedgehog, which is also one of my favorite videos on YouTube. But oh my goodness, this He-Man video, like it just makes me grin every time I watch it. I love it. And I had heard that like it was referenced in the movie, and I had seen this was on YouTube. I had seen like a live action recreation of not beat for beat, but like a decent chunk of it. And I thought that was going to be an end credit scene. It's not. It's not in the movie at all. I think it might have been on like Jimmy Kimmel or something. But What's Up is in the movie, and I enjoyed it, which is a good transition into the soundtrack. The soundtrack to this movie rules. I did not expect it to be so good because I didn't know who composed it, which will put like a quick pin in that. But as it was like even pretty early on, I'm like, this is really good. This is really hype. I feel like I'm just like watching an 80s movie because this is like a really good 80s soundtrack. There was a point where my sister had said, this has a very Queen feel to it. I hadn't thought about it, but I was like, no, I think she's right. Did Brian May compose this? And he did. I don't remember the name of the other composer, but it was like there was another composer, and he worked a lot with Brian May. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that explains a lot. Oh, it's so good. Um, I'll be honest, I was not really expecting a lot from Jared Leto with Skeletor, but he steals the show anytime he's on screen. He's really funny. As it's Skeletor, he should be really funny, but he does a really good job. Um, I don't really know what else to say. It's just this is not the movie I thought it was going to be. And I mean that in the best possible way. I did not have a lot of excitement. Like I said, I didn't have a lot of excitement when I watched the trailers. But maybe a few weeks ago, I had heard that, like, no, 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 the movie's actually really good. Like, it's a really fun time. So when my sister suggested it, I was like, okay, like, I'm down to give it a watch. I'm glad I did. I'm glad that this film exists. I'm glad that I saw it. I can't recommend it enough. Like, I'll say this, like, it's, if you're expecting like a really good story and plot line, or like a really emotional story, you're not going to get it here. But if you're like, I don't know how long it is, I think it was like 2 hours or so, but if you're like, I just want to laugh, I just want to see some goofy shit that's going to make me smile, I want to see Skeletor working out in a gym. Oh gosh, there's some lines in this movie where Skeletor says something along the lines of, like, that sword dangling between your glorious thighs. And then my sister just kind of gave me a or it's like, yeah, Ram Man, give him head. You're Fisto, you fist things. Like, there's a lot of jokes like that in the movie, but I think all of them made me laugh. I just had a fun time, and yeah, I would definitely recommend it if you've got a couple hours to kill and you just want to have some fun.